Lunalyn Readings. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to demonstrate a Celtic Cross reading, which can be done a variety of ways. I'm going to show you my favorite way. If you'd like to get a Celtic Cross reading from me, you could go to one of my links at the bottom. The first card is the Present and the Self. I got the Eight of Spears, or the Eight of Wands, and that is things are moving quickly. So in the present time and of the self, things are moving rapidly or coming quickly. The second card represents them, or the crossing obstacles. The Two of Swords, which could represent procrastination. So that sounds like a conflicting card where it says things are moving fast, but there's procrastination. So you would think, how do you rapidly procrastinate? Well, you need to lay more cards out to get clarity. So the next card is the unconscious. We get the Queen of Swords. Now that can represent a person, or it can represent a trait, or it can represent a state of mind. And since we're dealing with the unconscious, it probably deals with my state of mind. And we're dealing with another sword card. So this is also an air card. So we're dealing with some typically air traits, some logic, some mental state of being, some mental, logical things that pertain to the mind. Let's see what is in the past. And we'll start tying these all together. We have another swords card, the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords represents something that comes to an end, or something that has to do with things, closure, or tying up loose ends, or a final countdown, or seeing things come to a close. We'll start to tie these all together as they lay out, because all the cards are connected. You always want to come back to center. As they're laid out, you always want to come back to the center card. The next card is the Conscious, the Ten of Cups. That has to do with family. So we're starting to see a much broader picture now. Things are moving quickly. There's procrastination. Your unconscious traits are airy traits. They could do with logic, temperament, mental things, and something coming to an end. Things of that nature, and family. So how is family tied into this? What is this procrastination? And what is happening quickly? Why are you procrastinating? Are you procrastinating because things are happening quickly? Is it causing you to go put your heels in, dig your heels in? Are you procrastinating because things are moving too quickly and you're putting your heels in, digging your heels in, saying, whoa, whoa, whoa? And in the past, there was a finality that had come, your way, and you said, whoa, this has left scars, and it's just made you reassess things, and we need to see some more. Okay, so let's lay out the future card. This is the near future. This is like within a couple weeks, near future. And this is a coins card, the Ace of Coins. So the start of a new venture, the start of a new project. It could be a raise. It could be something monetary, or it could be something physical. So we start tying these all together. We always go back to the beginning card. You're procrastinating, things are moving quickly, has to do with the logic of the mind. Things are coming to an end, yet things are also beginning. These are things that are coming to an end in the past, but things are opening up here in the future. So what has ended is you want to go to the past, present, and future. So things have ended, things are moving quickly, in the future things are beginning. So we see a clear pattern of things moving forward. In the unconscious mind, there's family in the conscious, and in the unconscious mind, your mind is saying, in the unconscious, it's very very logical, very mental, very logical, very it's very mental, very, so to say, it could be temperamental. We don't know too much about this card, so I'm going to pull clarity cards on this one. But I want to lay out my foundation first and see where it goes before I pull clarity cards. You want to see what your influence is. The Chariot. Things are moving forward. So things are moving forward, and they're moving forward rather quickly, and yet you procrastinate. This is me. I'm reading my cards. I say you, but I actually mean me. Okay? Not to be confusing. Okay, so whatever it is that this is reading for myself, okay, I do know what these cards mean. But it's saying that things are moving forward and that I'm procrastinating because things tend to move a little rapidly. And I'm digging my heels in, and I'm procrastinating because things are moving quickly, and they're moving forward regardless of how much I procrastinate. And it's saying that you need to make a decision, and by God, just make a decision. It doesn't have to be the right one, you just need to make a decision. Okay, and the external influences around me are the 10 of Spears, or Wands in the standard deck. Like most people use the Rider-Waite deck, that's why I say Wands, but this is Spears in my deck. The 10 of Spears or the 10 of Wands represents a major burden. Okay, so the external influences around me, it's saying that surrounding me is a major burden. There are burdens all around me, and that is probably a lot to do with why I'm procrastinating, is because of the burdens surrounding me. Now, my hopes and fears, Page of Spears. We've got another Wands card. The Wands cards are your working card. That has to do with elements of work. Okay, so a page has to do with messages and news. So there's news and messages, and it's a hope and a fear. So how do your hopes and fears, how are they translated? Well, it depends. A hope can also be a fear, and sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a hope or a fear. Well, it's a working card and it's a fire card, okay? Wands, Spears, whichever it is in your deck, is a fire card. Fire cards have a lot to do with passion, they have a lot to do with intensity, they have to do with work, and it can be a fear and it can be a hope, but this is a message of inspiration. So this is a hope, okay? This is a good message. This is a message of carry on, take things to the next level. This is a spark of hope. This is saying that you are going to get a message that is inspiring. This is a spark of good news. So what is the outcome? The future card, the ultimate future card, the 5 of Coins. The 5 of Coins is saying that I need to watch my budget. it's saying that even though monetarily I'm supposed to get a little bit of an upraise, or something is coming my way and I have something to look forward to here in the next few weeks, ultimately the outcome is that I need to watch my budget. I need to watch things money-wise, because it says that when I get something, I don't always trust that what it is going to be what it is. I don't always trust things to be, all that glitters isn't always gold, and I don't always trust things are going to manifest. And this is true. This is true. Unfortunately, this is true. I don't always trust that things are going to work out. I wish that wasn't a factor, but it is true. There is a lot of burden going on around me, and I am a bit of a procrastinator. I hate to admit it. These cards are not lying. But you want to look at, when you read your cards, is the past, the present, and the future, do they line up? You also want to see, are your unconscious and your conscious, are they clashing, or are they in alignment? Now, for my conscious and unconscious, unconsciously, I've got a card that is a mental card. So, in my conscious card is a family card. Now, it is in alignment, and doesn't align with the present. Yes, it's good. It's aligning, so we're good to go. And your external influence and your internal influence. The Chariot moving forward, and your external influence, burdens. Moving forward and burdens are kind of clashing. And then also, look at your suits. Is there an overwhelming presence of one suit? You should get a mixture of suits. Now, I've got quite a bit of swords and quite a bit of spears. And also, is there an overwhelming presence of major arcana cards? If you've got a overwhelming presence of major arcana cards, then you really want to pay attention, because that is a very significant reading. A very significant reading that you want to pay attention to. I have only got the one major arcana card. So this is just a mundane task reading. This is a daily reading that is just going to blow over. It's just going to be a, in and out, one and done kind of reading. This is just a regular reading. Another thing you want to pay attention to is the number. Where are your numbers? Are they 5s, 3s, 10s? Is there a pattern? Also, the color of your cards. Is there a combination of colors that connect to one another? Do you have colors that relate to one another that you can connect? My color combination it's all over the place. So it's very one and done. It's not widely, it's not connected in a way that is telling me, hey, you really need to tune into this. You really need to focus on this. This reading is telling me that this is something that is not, I need to really tune in. I really need to pay attention and focus on this. This is telling me that this is a mundane reading, that this is something that is just, hello, you need to pay attention to this. Spirit is saying this is, a reading that is just general. You need to pay attention to it, yes, but it's not a major life-altering, major arcana kind of reading. It doesn't have major significance where if I had a bunch of 2s and 3s, then that would tell me it's at the beginning of a phase. It would tell me this is the beginning of a phase, and this is where it's starting, and then it's going to be transitioning at the beginning. If you get 6s and 7s, you're at the middle phase of a transition. If you get 9s and 10s, you're at the end phase of a transition. Just to give you an idea. If you get a lot of major arcana cards, then you really need to pay attention to the message in your reading that's telling you that this is a life-changing, life-altering event that you really need to pay attention to. Those are just some of the things that I can tell you about the Celtic Cross reading. That is why a Celtic Cross reading is so important. There are so many ways that you can interpret a Celtic Cross reading. It's more than just the individual cards. It's more than just the individual placement of the cards. There are so many ways to interpret the spread. It's not just the question. And if you notice, I did not ask a question. This was a blind reading. And with the fact that it was a blind reading, the interpretation was sort of all over the place. It was all over the place. In my next reading, in future videos, I will ask a question, and it will be a more direct answer. That way, you can see the difference between a blind reading and a question and answer reading. A blind reading sometimes yields a less direct result. And some people are in favor of blind readings, and some people are in favor of more of a question and answer reading. Personally, I like when people ask questions. I prefer when people ask questions. And I'm not opposed to doing blind readings. I will do a blind reading. It's just that I find that people are disappointed more often than not when I do a blind reading, because they often have questions that they want answers to, but they either are afraid to ask the question, or they think they're going to get the answer to a question they have and they don't ask that question, or they're just, for whatever reason, they didn't want to ask the question and they don't get the answers that they're looking for, and they end up paying extra money. If you have a question and you want to ask it, it's just best to go ahead and ask the question. If you have questions you want answers to, ask the question. We hear all sorts of different things. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Just be yourself. We are not going to judge you. We've heard it all. I promise. Well, that concludes this reading. I hope you enjoyed your time with me. Again, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Luna Lynn Readings. I'm Luna Lynn. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye for now.